Hello everybody, welcome back to Modern Dentures. In my last video I was talking about these little base plates that I made for the Stratus Articulator, Stratus 300. I just want to do this video just to go into a little bit more detail about this particular articulator and why I like it. I think the first thing to mention is that I like the way that it feels when I'm holding it, because it seems to just it just sits nicely in the hand. It's not too heavy. It's a little bit heavy, but it's not too heavy, and it's got so many adjustments on it. For example, you know, if you loosen this off, then it can be really floppy, which I don't like. I like a little bit of tension there, so I can fine tune that. If I've got a heavy model on, I can just tighten it a little bit, so I can just hold it exactly where it is. And with this this little stand at the back, so it sits, so you can line it up with your eye level, so when you're trying to get that occlusal plane flat, it really helps for that. The other good thing about this articulator is it's fully adjustable, so we can set not just the position of the TMJ the same on both sides, but we can independently adjust the height of where the actual angle of that the fossa is, that glenoid fossa. It's got like a curve on it, so when we go into protrusion, and you can actually set that, so when you're doing the bite registration you can measure it in those different positions that you can then transfer onto the articulator, so it can be super accurate. To be honest, I tend to not use those features because most of the time it will only, by the time it's translated to the actual occlusal paint, there's very minor adjustments that you're going to have to do. But it's nice having it there. You know, if you're struggling with a case and it's, you know, it's not going too well, then you can do the whole Gothic arch tracing with the facebow, and then protrusive bites as well if you want to, and do all these things to try and nail in those measurements and get them just right, so that you've got the best chance of getting a functional denture. However, that is kind of the downside to this Artic as well, and one that I found that some technicians don't like, because if one of these little knobs comes loose and it gets knocked and you don't notice, and then you're setting up, it's going to be offset to where it should be, and it can make more of a difference than you might think. Although these little ones at the front I find not too bad. Tends to be these ones on the inside that cause more of a problem there. For me, it's not really a problem, because if it's out I tend to notice it, and you know, I just do a quick check over before I start using it, just to make sure everything's where it should be. But yeah, great Artic. You know, it's perfectly balanced for all the different angles that you need to put it in. It's a little bit tricky to keep clean because of all the thumb screws on here. They're like little slits, and all the plastic gets caught in there, so that's a little bit annoying. But yeah, I just wanted to give you my thoughts on that Artic. If you're in the market for getting a decent articulator, then I would say probably start off with the 200, which is a semi-adjustable. You don't have all the functionality that you have on this one, but you still get really good results from it. Anyway, hope you found that useful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye.